can I get some of you to sort of come to the front? I know we have the last session before lunch, but we want to try and keep it as interesting so that your appetites will continue to be there and we can have a good lunch. So a lot of people at the back, I would appreciate if you could all sort of come and sit and come to the front. That way we will sort of try and make this a little bit more engaging rather than being one-sided and just have a conversation amongst ourselves. We would also like to bring a lot of you into the conversations too. First question that I'll ask, before I ask the panel, I'll ask you guys. How many of you think what's financial inclusion? Any sort of thoughts or any feedback on what you think is financial inclusion? Because that's one question that I think everybody has, but then there are, I think, 100 answers to what financial inclusion is. So what I'll do is I'll start off by actually doing a quick introduction before I forget of the panelists, and then after that, the question that we'll ask all of them is what's financial inclusion, and that will be only like a 15-second answer so that we can get started with the rest of the panel. So, Sucharita, I'll start with you. A quick introduction, and please we'll move on to the rest of the panel as well.
I'm Sucharita, co-founder of Kaleidofin, and Kaleidofin essentially provides the right financial solution for underbanked customers. India has about 600 million of them. To me, financial inclusion is about creating convenient access, creating reliable access, and creating the right set of financial products for customers who find it hard to reach finance. So to me, that's what it is.
So I work with Axion Venture Lab. We're a seed stage impact investment fund focused on investing in companies that drive financial inclusion. So for us, financial inclusion is a key mandate. And the way we define it as is a company that is disrupting in various ways to drive accessibility to financial products, affordability to financial products, so improving the quality of financial products, similar to what Sucharita mentioned. And really the broader definition here is to also protect people's financial health and make sure that they don't come back into lower economic situations due to financial shocks.
Jonathan Bill, running a business called CreditMate. We are a fintech focused on lending on two-wheelers. Financial inclusion, our average customer is earning between 12 and 13,000 rupees a month. We see the bike or the two-wheeler as a productivity asset. Busy over the last 2 years, just raised money from 197 ATM.
So Prakash from Fincare Small Finance Bank, as the name says, we're all about financial care. We were historically a microfinance. Last year we converted into a small finance bank. For us, essentially, it's been a story of transformation, great change.
Hi, Deepak Jain, I'm co-founder of Flexiloans. We give money to entrepreneurs to make more money. So financial inclusion for us means financing entrepreneurs so that they can go out there in the world and make an impact on the society. Employ more, bring more goods to the consumers, etc., etc. At Flexiloans, we give loans almost in 500 cities today, pan-India, and majority of these are in tier 2, tier 3 towns.
So which sort of means that financial inclusion is not just individuals, but also sort of includes micro and small businesses that have challenges in sort of being able to access credit. And we all know that small and medium businesses are great generators of employment. One of the challenges our country or emerging economies always have. And that's one way of being able to alleviate that is through the growth of micro and small and medium enterprise. And one of the key ingredients for them to actually build and scale up is credit, which a lot of people on the panel sort of have expertise on. So one of the areas that we actually had a very lively conversation, this is around the fact that now we have this next 500 million digital natives. That's part of what the tagline for our discussion is all about saying that we have these 500 million digital natives and the rest of the country And there's all this data that's sort of floating around, right? And this is data on people who are rich, who are poor, who are middle class, small businesses, large businesses, all of that. And there's an enormous amount of hype as well as reality about what the data represents and what the data does not represent, and of course all the risks associated with it. Some thoughts on that, Sucharita, because you sort of were very passionate about this whole exercise, and so was Paul and the others. Some thoughts around, how do you really want to look at some of this data, and what is it that has opportunities as entrepreneurs, but also has risks associated with it, as well as for existing entrepreneurs to really be able to leverage some of this data that's already out there.
Yeah. Thanks. I think that, as a fundamental principle, we believe that customers, enterprises should own their data. It is their asset. And as such, you can use it to leverage access to credit, access to better products, and so on. So the kind of data, so for example, our customers are vegetable vendors, bricklayers, and they do have financial records. So a lot of them are customers of microfinance institutions, small finance banks, and have credit bureau histories for the last 5 years. I don't know if you know, but the informal sector credit bureau has over 150 million gross records. These are not unique customers, but that's the kind of data that is there. This is trade line data. We typically do have access to some banking, some transaction data, as well as, of course, what really makes it much easier to reach customers today is that most of them, I would say almost all of them, have a mobile phone, almost all of them have a bank account, they can be authenticated. Just to give you some context, 5 years ago, the cost of authentication itself used to be maybe something like 400-500 rupees per customer. The cost of just making sure that you are who you are. So there have been some massive shifts which make it possible for us to now really provide the right financial solution because we have more data. Do we need more than what is there today? Absolutely. But let's sort of create an environment in which the customer owns and can leverage their own data, and we build that digital history very consciously.
But then again, is this data really sexy enough for the larger audience, the larger sort of entrepreneurs who are sort of looking at it? Because is this something that has the viability of being able to leverage for a sustainable business, for example, as a fintech entrepreneur?
I truly believe so. I mean, there is always a starting point for every customer. There was a point of time when all of us stepped out of college and we started working and we started saving in banks. And, and we got access to credit because of that, right? So we had zero data at some point of time as well. So I do think that it is absolutely possible, and 150 million records is not a small amount of, data. So I do think it makes for a viable business. Is there going to be more interesting forms of data? So, for example, is mobile top-up information going to be available at some point in time? Sure, of course it would make it more exciting. But I think it's a very good starting point.
What do you think, Prakash? I mean, you sort of deal with a lot of this as well.
So pretty much, I'll tell you what, we've seen our microfinance cycles when decisions on loans used to take 10, 14 days, to today it's practically 20 minutes. And we are a 98% rural India. So we're pretty much operating everywhere. So you imagine all the connectivity, it's completely eKYC, integrated with credit bureaus. Our SME lending, which is actually a loan against property, is instant and it's algorithmic. I'll come on the privacy side of this, but conceptually what we do say is that, there's so much, a person who goes and draws 500 rupees from an ATM and the person who withdraws 5,000 are two different people. A guy who tops up 20 rupees on his mobile phone and a guy who tops up 200 rupees to use all this for our SME. That's what we're able to do. Loan against property decisions in 20 minutes. Integrated with multiple bureaus. So I think data per se becoming rich is very good. I think what we need to watch out for, and this is a larger issue, that if you look at the unicorns, they actually believe that every business is a tech business. So actually it's not these fintechs, the banks, all of us sitting out here. What's effectively you got to think about is 20 years forward when the unicorns have all the data that everything everybody wants, and that's private sector. So to that extent, I'm actually glad about the whole Aadhaar thing. Fortunately, it's not private sector, right? I mean, you don't want a nationalization process which might have to happen globally.
Yeah, and that's the risk that's also out there, right, on the data piece. And you sort of deal with a lot of this for the small and medium enterprise. And a lot of these are enterprise level data, which is also a lot harder to also sort of generate, but also harder to sort of also go ahead and collate as well.
So when we started meeting a lot of these entrepreneurs and going deeper and deeper in tier 2, tier 3 towns, what we realized was, this data has been there for centuries. This is for decades. All of these retailers are buying from a large distributor for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Many of them are selling to large corporates, and that's also happening. But they never borrowed in the formal economy.
The concept of credit is not there for them.
And that's why they don't have a formal bureau score, and that's why 90% of these entrepreneurs are not being attacked or targeted by these banks and NBFCs. What has changed in the last 5 years is a lot of technology which companies like us are developing. We are using this alternate data or going to larger channel partners and using that data to risk score these customers. So it's just the data which is existing. Alternate data does not mean that you develop new data like mobile spends or credit card spends. Honestly, that may or may not be as potent as everybody's labeling that to be. There's more potent data available with the corporate purchases these customers are doing. That's a good estimate of the amount of sales these customers make. So what we are all developing, so at FlexiLoans, we are very clearly developing technologies where we can connect with ERPs of large corporates and reach out to entrepreneurs in tier 2, tier 3, smaller villages and give them loans as small as 50,000 and doesn't matter. Some of them can get loans of as high as 50 lakh. Because even with thin files, they have a lot of purchase data.
Paul, I think you have some thoughts since you also look at it globally, right? I mean, it's not just India that you sort of look at.
So I think these 3 trends are key trends to driving financial inclusion, which is A, access to digitization of data. I mean, everybody knows that India will be data rich before being economically rich. So we are using that data sources, startups like you are using data sources to sort of underwrite new customers that were previously not underwritten. I think the question from our side as an inclusion funder really ends up becoming is, how is this data being used in a way that remains ethical and that remains where the decision-making authority continues to be with the individual rather than the company that may be providing them with the service. So I mean, I think people are addressing the first layer. It will be interesting to see how the second layer of it first. And I think Raj made a really good point that maybe we should give data to everybody. In which case, nobody ends up owning a particular data and therefore monopolizing it. I think that's it.
So I have a slightly deliberately contrarian view, which is there is a huge amount in this room. There are thousands of companies probably that are trying to make credit decision making easier. Yeah, there are very few companies focused on collection.
Absolutely.
Okay, and lending is not a new business. Okay, lending has been around for centuries, millennia. And actually, most large NBFCs and large lending companies in India today, including microfinance companies, make very thin decisions at the outset, but they focus very heavily on the ability of the customer to repay or their ability to collect from that customer. And I think no amount of data, structured or unstructured, can really protect you if you're making a completely optimistic decision on the way into a credit lending model. Which is why I think there are a lot of fintechs in trouble right now, because many of them are very decision heavy and collection light, if at all they have collection capability.
So which essentially means so the data has not necessarily been leveraged for collections or for decision making.
Data is largely unstructured, if we're honest. The data we're discussing is paper, and it's optimistic, and it's some of it's on books, and some of it's on off books, and some of it's formal, and some of it's informal. The decision making, based on my Facebook profile, is not really going to protect me from my ability to collect alone.
So this is where I will disagree a bit. People confuse between digitization and digital, and I'm going to talk a bit about collections. I mean, very few banks or financial institutions meet their customer every month. Let's go deep. That's what we do in microfinance. There's a science to doing everything. So when I talk of collections, I mean, most of the time people are trying to convert a form back into digital, and that's what they think is all digital. But what we do, there's a science in the process about collection. GPS code, not possible on a form. The time you met the customer, what did you ask him? Now that's what we do. Effectively, every point of engagement, there are logs, there's communication. You went to the customer's house. I mean, when we do rural business, streets don't have names. So if you to land at that place 5 years back, we used to draw a map, right? The guy on the field will draw a map how to get to that house near that temple. Today, that guy actually just clicks it on GPS. So the whole game is completely changed. We know we can exactly find the place, we take a picture of the house, we take pictures of this, and so effectively when you look at it, the entire process around, there's a lot of process, which is what helps financial services, is all about digital. So that's where that data is truly digital. It was never on paper ever.
So Prakash, I think all the public sector banks that are sort of looking at high NPAs and borrowers are sort of run away from the country. This law probably contacted you and you could have set up a nice business collecting money. It would have been a great business.
I mean, historically,
I'm sure you would have sort of been able to figure out where more
there are only three G's which impact microfinance. Historically, and this is what Vijay Mahajan said, which he typically refers to as, because it stood floods, riots, everything, he typically says three things which are microfinance: government, God, and Godman.
Yeah. Actually, I have an additional point here. So, Prakash, I think that the other critical point is, how do you combine data, analytics, and the key customer touch, and what does that customer touch point do? I believe what that customer touch point does is understand the customer as well as encourage the customer, right? I mean, imagine, we've all taken student loans. Some of us even forgot, right, that we had student loans because nobody ever, even asked us for 2 years, right, that we had student loan. And I don't know if you I may have had one of the highest default rates, and who would think that? It's because of the structure of the loan, and it's because of the way, the way the interaction with the institution was. So the encouragement or the nudge, either to save or to repay your installments on time, is also very critical. So it's a collection, and it's sort of, it's coming, right? And your human behavior does change when you know there is a person landing up. Right?
There's some accountability and responsibility.
There is responsibility, you can change behavior. So I do think that tech analytics with touch is going to be extremely powerful for the 600 million people we are talking about.
So it needs a bit of offline, on the ground connection techniques that probably have been much more effective in traditional money lending businesses. Would that sort of be one way of sort of saying, I'll leverage that as well as technology to make connections?
I think there is a lot to learn from informal products. So I do believe that there are good reasons why those informal products exist. It is up to us to say, how do we learn, what will create a value for the customer? There was a use case, right? And how can we now make it a safer, less friction, lower interest rate, but just as convenient product for the customer. So I think that's what sort of tech and analytics and being in closer touch with the customer can be.
So this sort of is a nice segue to what I think I wanted to sort of ask you guys for your views about is the whole evolution of financial inclusion, which is the microfinance industry and the whole related industries around that, right, is going from a group decision making and a group responsibility to actually now becoming more individualistic, right? And a whole bunch of products and services that are now starting to be more targeted to the individual, especially the millennials, right? And especially a lot of people who are now either students who are sort of getting into first jobs, or people who are sort of moving from rural areas to larger cities in search of jobs, and sort of leaving that fabric of family behind and starting independently. thoughts around that? I mean, I think that's one area where I think there is an evolution, and I think that's an opportunity as well. But there's also some hidden risk, but that's a significant way for you to actually be able to get to that 500 million digital natives that we keep talking about.
I'm going to go on the group one first. Right? We're going to go back in time. Human beings are social, and we can avoid whatever you want to say. Facebook got its success because it's social. So whether virtual, whether physical, it's the definition of that group which is has to be very voluntary. You have to be able to block somebody and accept somebody, right? So fundamentally, group brings in efficiency in sourcing, underwriting, collection. You need a social system, and there are very few people who want to go live in Antarctica, right? Even if who want to visit it for a few days. So I think that's in our DNA somewhere. Now we're just leveraging that. One of the most important thing that which is counterintuitive is when the poor actually get money, the first thing that they do is the movie Paresh Rawal Lottery. The first thing that they do is actually call a big party. Because that's what they can rely on. They know nobody else is going to come to the rescue other than that. So let's acknowledge that when your social system is your first level of support. Now, if your friends don't trust you, if they don't want to help you, third party people. So perfect proponent of group is just that group at different levels is different. At the private equity world, it's a different group. At the call center world, it's a different group. Security guards is a different group. The athletic worlds are on their own, but we are social. So we will be.
So the decision is that the group is going to be there.
I actually completely agree with Prakash. I think we went from having physical groups like microfinance had to having digital groups. So when you look at digital lenders now, the whole idea of looking at their Facebook or the social profile is really looking and vetting what their friends do. And so the group mentality continues to stay and be a part of the digital underwriting process. I don't think we've ever moved away from that. I'd be curious how that ever really takes place.
So I would kind of agree to some aspects of the group, but a lot of millennials, and if you look at the new gen entrepreneurs, we get a lot of entrepreneurs who are 21 to 27 years in age. They just, the father was selling a retail store and the son just comes to the business and starts online. So one big change we have seen and when we started interacting more with our customers, you got to know that you can't think that, okay, I need this on these all data points, and basis this, I'll make this underwriting model and start telling the customer. You have to start thinking from the customer's angle, what does this customer want? He wants loans at a click of a button. He wants loans precision without giving much paperwork. He does not want to go to a bank branch to collect a statement and give it to you. He does not want to go to a chartered accountant and get his P&L, balance sheets, and multiple complex documentation. So a lot of products you make has to be individualistic when you're selling them to the customers. So when you're onboarding customers, it has to be a lot more individualistic versus group. Where group helps is in the word of mouth. And so for example, if you do well in, say, retailer association of Lamington, and if you give loans to 5 good entrepreneurs have a great story about flexi loans, you'll get 15 loans.
Are we talking about two different things here? Because one is you're saying this is my individual preference. I want something at a certain point, and as a company, you should give me that financial product based on my individual preference. And what we are saying is that companies may continue to use your group network to evaluate your worthiness of that financial product that you're selling. So essentially, maybe we're saying the same thing, but looking at it from two different angles.
I do think though that the way in which the customer accesses the product and the choice that we present to the customer, that are you forced to group up, physically group up with people, or can you and do you have the capability of taking credit individually? And certainly, I can't believe that a customer would not want to have that choice. Certainly, should you leverage social network information? Is it powerful? Absolutely. I do not doubt that for a second. But at the same time, we meet lots of women customers every day who are saying, I want to keep my my financial decisions private from my husband. And you have to respect that. Now, the thing is, and what is a group? Is my friend my my group? Is my family my group? Let the customer decide who their group is. And what I'm saying is, sometimes the thing is, if you have only one way, then it's sort of like saying that, what, your husband must guarantee you. Because you're part of the same family, but at the same time it's very paternalistic. And therefore that choice must be presented. There is no doubt that social network information is useful.
I've sort of questioned that. I'm married to India, literally. And my social network data now includes my uncle, auntie, kaka, kaki, nephew, niece, and all my school friends. There is no way I can infer, because I behave correctly on my social network, Facebook. I may have some other account which I also, behave badly on. But you cannot infer from anyone based on their batchmates what they're doing now, in my opinion. I think it's a complete red herring. What I think is interesting around groups is actually what we're really saying is, and this is what MFI was built on, it wasn't just groups, it was really social capital. Okay, so in my opinion, the safest way to lend and the best way to lend is to actually understand the propensity of somebody to pay back. And secondly, the risk that they have is greater typically of losing social status than not paying back. For example, I will pay my loan on time if I want to avoid the bailiff coming and knocking on the door saying, give me the money back. I will, in our case, pay my loan on time because my friends will see me riding the second-hand bullet I bought, and I don't want that to go away. Okay? So groups are a proxy, I think, from what you're saying, for social capital and social influence. They're not about joint decision-making necessarily. They're not necessarily about joint risk-sharing in today's world. They were in MFI committee structures.
Just a different one. When we talk of financial inclusion, big fan of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was financially excluded. And I'll talk about groups. He chose his parents were paying all the fees. He was into the dorm rooms of his friends. Now that was his group. He would collect bottle caps and go to the Hare Krishna restaurant. Now, so I'm telling you this financially goes back to your original question. But everybody actually have a group somewhere that exists, and those groups, when even the well-off, this guy drinks in campus, this guy doesn't. Now that's what we need. That underwriting intelligence is actually missing in all our groups. That's. I wish every group could actually state that out in an algorithm.
So it essentially means that these groups have to be flexible enough, and probably decide on who wants to be part of that group. And that group may sometimes just be an individual as well. So it could be a mix of both of them. Which sort of then brings another question, and that's all about financial literacy, because financial inclusion is financial literacy. And we've had these conversations with a lot of people about the fact that part of the reason why several of these initiatives, especially when you start looking at some of these targeting underserved or rural parts of the country, have sort of not been very successful, primarily because a lot of these have also not been accompanied with financial literacy. And that actually goes back to financial literacy even in larger cities and even amongst the middle class as well. So thoughts and challenges and where the opportunities are, and whether is there a way to actually make this a lot more effective, considering the fact that as we talk about it, some of the more developed economies still struggle with financial literacy as well.
So briefly, my view is that India is actually financially literate. It just doesn't always know that it is. Meaning, everybody makes quite astute decisions. When you have a very low income level, then you need to make every penny count. It's actually reversed. The richer you get, the less you pay, to a certain extent. So, that's why we have Vijay Mallya versus, the Bangla. But I think the other thing is that as lenders, particularly, nearly everybody on this panel is going to be lending to somebody for whom it's their first formal loan. Okay? And therefore we have two key responsibilities. One is to make sure that we're in a prepaid country. Okay? Everything in this country is prepaid. Or save first, buy later. Okay? So telecoms 100% pretty much prepaid. Yeah, TV, prepaid. Loans, formal or informal, to your point, very good point. For gold, I owe this much, I'll pay it when I get the full sum of money. Nobody is used to paying on a regular basis. So it's our job, actually, particularly as lenders, to encourage that regular repayment behavior. And also to encourage the reward of regular repayment behavior by offering better interest rates for those that do, and giving them access to then even greater life enhancing products, for example, housing loans.
No, but then again, one of the fastest growing segments is consumer finance, right? Where there's a boatload of companies out there that are lending to you, go and buy your air conditioner, to your cell phone, to fancy toys, to whatever else you want to really go and do it. And a lot of those are actually now starting to target not the larger metros, but tier 2, tier 3 towns as well.
I agree, and I think that, in essence, what happens, and you see it in civil or whatever agency you look at, the minute you get a job anywhere and you become credit rated, you get inundated with cheap lending offers, and this is exactly the issue that we face in Europe, in America. So there is a danger point that if we're not careful, you boatload people that are young, college finishing, first job workers, and that's what these are frivolous purchases also as well. Holiday to go, mobile phone that I dropped and smashed the screen. So I share your view that is a concern. Furthermore, because of fintech being what it is and hyper-funded to a certain extent, you've got a lot of companies with limited view of margin at this present point in time, focused on the top 1 or 2% of borrowers. And that creates this problem of hyper-competition and therefore risk.
I mean, it's very interesting points here and hard to sort of parse out, which you can focus on here. But one of the things I feel like when we talk about financial literacy is really assuming that the person that is maybe low income is not smart enough to understand what we're offering to them. And the reality is, I'm completely in agreement with Jonathan's point that they really do know, given the millennia that India has existed, what these products essentially mean. The question here becomes a little bit different. It's really the startups and the companies that are selling their financial products to these customers. In my mind, as an investor or as an impact investor, is really what are these companies doing to ensure that the person they are lending to is well aware of the consequences. And so the question essentially becomes a little bit of a flip from what you mentioned, which is that financial literacy is not the onus of the consumer. It's the onus of the business or the startup that is providing the product.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, Pavel. I think financial service providers have more money, more resources, more capacity, and they should indeed be responsible for whatever financial product they're selling. In credit, you would think that that's part of your underwriting anyway, right? Because you will lose money if the product is not suitable. On, let's say, investment products or combinations of products, what do you do there? Life becomes a little bit more complicated because in reality, customers, we find, save and borrow at the same time, right? And then you add protection to it. So I think there is a layer of almost financial advice that is required. Providers need to be responsible and need to have the right amount of data and therefore need to invest that much in the customer, knowing the customer to know that this is the right financial product. And then I think we will have sustainable business models.
But then again, is it in the interest of the entrepreneur or the fintech companies to actually gain this? Because most entrepreneurs will say, I'm not in the education business, I'm in the business of lending, right? And in those situations, who takes the onus of actually sort of saying, I'm going to sort of educate the customer, right?
No, but we're actually saying that forget about educating the customer. Actually, it's your job to make sure that the product you're selling is right for the customer. So I'm actually questioning why the focus on financial literacy. Sure, at a basic level, yes. But I don't think you need a huge investment in financial literacy. I actually think companies need a huge investment in the internal processes to assess whether the product is good for them or not, which is completely different.
So I would completely agree with what Strat is saying over here. You as a company have to invest in whether, so there are two decisions here. When you're lending to an entrepreneur from our side, which we look at, and we bring technology to the same as well. whether this customer can afford the rates which we will charge basis his risk profile. So basis this on our risk profile, what are the interest rates we are charging from this customer? Does his business and the margins he has in the business justifies that taking loans at this rate can pay for money? If the answer is no, then my money will never come back. I have to put it in my interest to know that thing from the customer and make a well-educated decision. Otherwise, he will face difficulties in paying it back. The second point is how much loan he should pay. And that's equally important because if he's borrowing more than what he can afford, or he can sell in terms of working capital, and the majority of the loans we do is working capital, so we can do technology which helps these customers or our customers understand when they should come to market next. This is the kind of sales is happening, the rundown of the inventory is happening. That's very critical for the customer to understand. Eventually, it is a business of ROEs, right? And we as vendor, we should support these customers to make more ROEs by taking loans from us. And if you don't do that, it's not a win-win for both sides.
So, just a different view, I'm going to frivolous purchases. I was in a fairly large NBFC yesterday, and the most interesting thing is live concerts on EMI. 10,000 rupees concert show, go to book my show, yeah, pay it in 6 installments. So that gets close to really frivolous purchases, but that's what we're getting into. Actually in reality, I think a lot of us confuse between financial literacy and the user manual which you typically get in products. All that needs to be done is tell your consumer so that they understand the product that's being sold. Your fine print. It's not this mega education thing that you need to do. The truth is, I used to go back and think, there have been women who you buy vegetables from, never gone to school, right? $100 you give her, she gives you back $50 because, and she's done multiplication, subtraction, addition. She didn't know those terms. She's done all of that. In reality, when they have very limited money, it's like a bottle of water in a desert. They know how to use it absolutely fine. What they don't know is your interaction with them. And that's what we need to be absolutely clear about. No, it's literally that training manual saying that, look, you don't pay, I'm going to charge you. You don't do this. It's your interaction which you need to protect. They know how to put use to money. They put so limited money. So at least I am at the base of the pyramid, and I'm not talking of the ones who do the frivolous work. But at the base of the pyramid, they're very careful in the way they do their IRRs. Really, they can't borrow at 24%.
Yeah, actually, Prakash, even in Tanzania, there was sort of mobile operators gave $1 loans to masses of people. Right? They didn't know that they were borrowing because they got it automatically. There were 40% defaults and they all got blacklisted. Now, that's an example of you doing the consumer harm. You gave them a $1 loan. They don't even know that they borrowed money. They didn't repay it back. And now they can't borrow the $1,000 they need. Right? So, and that is something, financial institutions need to be responsible for because you did for $1, you ruined access to credit for this customer. So, just to give an extreme example, I don't see these kind of examples in India, but we must,
Just one quick, and I want to do a sniff test at this point, okay? I mean, I'm sure lots of people have parents out there, right? So our parents here, and I have also kids. How do them do home education? How important is the classroom? Very important. There's a lot of digital learning you can do, right? And when I did with the base of the pyramid, we finally discovered that heavy touch, you don't need to do that classroom. So clearly, they're all fairly digitally. How many people are comfortable to say, homeschooling, I don't need to do anybody, my kid will figure out everything. And that could help.
With nobody.
So you need a classroom. Ultimately, a heavy touch is important for action.
So last, I know, you're sort of getting all hungry. I can see it on people's faces. So I'll sort of touch upon one thing which is sort of a very critical element of financial inclusion, that's financial health and financial growth. The ability for people to actually keep advancing financially, but also being able to preserve financial health, especially as people's circumstances and situations change. And for some of them to actually continue to also sort of advance and not necessarily fall off the cliff. And these are also important, and it also sort of goes back to ethics, which to a certain degree, when you start reading the business newspapers, you sometimes tend to forget, looking at all the scams that have sort of happened in the recent times, right? And some of these get-rich-quick methods that have not been followed. Some thoughts around financial health and financial growth, because I think that's one way for us also to say that financial inclusion does not necessarily mean, hey, let's go chase down these 500 million digital natives and sell and lend to them, but also make sure that these guys can continue to sort of advance and still continue to be financially healthy going forward.
That's a great tie-in question from what we were previously discussing, is how much of a decision or how much of a choice does an individual have versus what the business has when dealing with the customer. And what we're saying here is that the basics probably the customer understands really well. But when it comes to a little bit more complicated, and this is where I think, Suchita, you were coming in, when there's a little bit more complicated element of a financial product, I think we can agree that certain people, or most people in this world, won't really truly understand it. And there is an element of training that needs to happen before they can understand what are the structured products that they need to be continuously healthy. I think people say people don't really buy insurance products, people borrow, and so we do see an area where there is still startups are sort of lagging a little bit on financial.
So thank you for being a patient crowd.